Hello YouTube land, my name is Raul and I'm going to be reviewing chapter 8 in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. So this chapter is on decisions. It goes over one of the major reasons why we fail in succeeding in whatever we're doing is the lack of decision. And procrastination is the exact opposite of decision. It goes into an example of Henry Ford. He was deemed to be a stubborn man. His Model T car was deemed the ugliest car, the ugliest looking car in the world. And his advisors were constantly trying to convince him to change the design of the car. And for the longest time, he was no, we're going to keep it the same. We're going to keep it the same. Till finally, he came up with different concepts and changed the design of the car, but it took him a while. So the moral was that successful people have the characteristic of making decisions very quickly, and they're very slow to change their mind. They don't sway. You can't sway them, influence them very easily. The opinions of others, other people, don't influence them too much. So kind of sticking to your guns, pretty much is what I got out of that. Then it goes into, then it gives you pretty much a saying here, the epigram, to read. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. So what I got out of that, actions speak louder than words. Talk with, or walk what you talk, pretty much. And then it goes into Lincoln. It gives another example of Lincoln. It goes over, his famous issue of the Emancipation Proclamation and the kind of like a brief summary of the Civil War and how that, he ended up dying because of that decision, but the United States wouldn't be what it is today without those decisions that were made back then. So after that story, it kind of clicked for me. Making a decision, being almost willing to die for what you believe in. I mean, that's serious. To pursue with faith, desire, courage, and persistence. Because then it goes into the Declaration of Independence. We all know George Washington, right? When we think of the formation of the United States, we think of George Washington, it says in the book. But it goes over Samuel Adams and John Hancock were kind of the organizers of the colonies because they formed the Continental Congress in 1774. And, Governor Gage for the Brits sent a messenger to Adams. Pretty much what I summed up, not word for word, but what he did was he tried to bribe Adams. He's like, stop, you guys stop, messing around, stop making trouble. We're gonna pay you off and simmer down now. And his reply to that was, I've made my peace with God. Kings of kings. Pretty much kiss my butt. We're going to do what we want here. Don't tell us what to do. And don't insult my people anymore. And he took that message back to the Governor Gage. And, he was pissed. And what he did was he said, I'll pardon everybody except Hancock and Adams. We want those two and we want to kill them. So almost, that decision could have cost him his life. So then if it goes forward into the drafting of the Declaration of Independence, so the first Continental Congress in 1774, so they're organizing everything, the colonies are getting together, and in 1776 they all make a decision. They appoint, Jefferson and a team of others. They draft up the Declaration of Independence, and they all know when they sign this document that they're parting ways. They're going to be independent of Britain, but it's war. That's a declaration of war. Because if they lose to the Brits, that's it. You're game over. You guys die. It's game over. It's your life. So pretty much another example of decision with persistence, courage, faith, and desire. Very, very, very good chapter. It goes into another example of the founder of FedEx, how he got started. Kind of just reiterates, being persistent and having courage and to keep going, not to give up, and really believe in what you're doing. So that's what I got out of it. Having that decision and really believing in yourself and being, almost to the point where you're willing to die for what you believe in, because you think it's it made me reflect. A lot of these decisions that were made so many years ago, out of my wheelhouse, so many years ago, how they influenced what we now see around us, the kind of society that I live in the United States. So very good chapter. Definitely read it for yourself. I didn't get everything in one sitting, so I'm going to have to reread it. But if you liked the video and you got some value out of it, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you.